Swadika, good morning and welcome to Newsline. It's Monday, April 20th, 2015. I'm Cholapansan Rula. Thank you very much for joining us as the program is coming live to you on NBT, Radio Thailand, FM 88 and also on NBT World. In today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward, the Prime Minister has assured that the government is genuinely determined to solve the problem of human trafficking in Thailand. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha said that the current government has been pleased with the successful repatriation of a group of Thai fishermen back to Thailand before the Songkran holiday. Prayut added that the government has also offered help, both financial and non-financial, to those who have fallen prey to the human traffickers. He also thanked all state agencies involved in assuring the safety of the public during the past holidays and members of the public who have cooperated with the government's calls to put on traditional attire to promote the Thai culture and tradition while celebrating the country's New Year festival. The Prime Minister added that the government's attempt to uphold Thailand's image has attributed to an increase of more than 20% in tourist arrivals in the first quarter of this year. The Thai Prime Minister has also commended the work of the One-Stop Service Centre for Business, which claims to have helped eliminate barriers in doing business and chances for bribery and corruption by government officials. Terming the success as a new face of the government service, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha said the centre allows entrepreneurs and investors to have easier access to information and facilities necessary for their business through diversified channels. One of the channels is the Investment Service Centre, where investors can seek consultations from representatives of more than 20 government units, including those related to renewal of visa and work permits. Regional investment and economic centres have also been established in Chiang Mai in the north, Nakhon Ratchasima and Khon Kaen in the northeast, Chonburi in the central region, and Songkhla, as well as Surat Thani in the south. Such centres are authorised to consider investment applications and approve them in an effort to cut bureaucratic red tape and unnecessary paperwork. Let's take a look at the NRC now. The President of the National Reform Council has scheduled a meeting with all council members this week to review the first draft of the Constitution. NRC President Thien Chai Kiranan has called for a sitting during April 20th and April 26th when the meeting agenda is the deliberation of the first draft charter, which the Constitution Drafting Committee, or CDC, has completed with 315 sections in it. Mr. Thien Chai said he has adjusted the deliberation process by the chair and the members of each reform committee in order to allow for a broad and efficient review of the draft charter. According to NRC President, a total of 79 hours are allocated for the deliberation, with the CDC to spend 15 hours explaining about the draft. For the remaining 64 hours, the chairs of all 18 reform committees will be each given 30 minutes, while each NRC member who has expressed an interest to debate will have 15 minutes to share their ideas. The National Anti-Corruption Commission has seized assets worth 40 million baht of the former Director General of the Department of Special Investigation, Tharit Pengdit, on grounds of unusual wealth. NACC Secretary General Sansern Ponjiak said a NACC committee probing the case of former chief of the DSI found there was evidence suggested that Mr. Tharit's assets relating to his unusual wealth had been transferred, transformed or hidden. The NACC therefore decided to temporarily seize the assets, including bank deposits, land, buildings and vehicles worth a total of 40 million baht, and that's according to Section 78 of the NACC Act. The NACC also ordered Mr. Tharit to submit a list of assets and liabilities of himself, his spouse and minor children within 30 days. The Department of International Trade Promotion has reported that exports of construction materials from Thailand are expected to grow by at least 5% this year, mainly due to increasing demand from large economies. The Director General of the Department of International Trade Promotion, Nantawan Sakuntanak, said exports of construction materials during the first 2 months of this year were worth more than $1.38 billion, increasing by 9.6%. An increase of more than 5% or $8.7 billion was expected this year, and that is due to higher demand from the country's main markets such as Japan, the US, and Australia. Kunantavan added that Australia and the US had imported more steel products by 148% and 55% respectively. The US had imported steel pipes and other steel products for use in industrial plants. As for the ASEAN market, cement had been exported to Myanmar, Cambodia, and Laos to accommodate economic expansion. The Department of Employment has instructed all of its provincial offices to caution job seekers wanting to work overseas to beware of fraud, as reports of illegal employment agents have recently been on the rise. The Employment Department Director General Sumed Mohosot disclosed that the department had since January this year prosecuted 41 illegal employment agencies and 82 people involved in fraud. He indicated that the number of wrongdoers arrested in the past 2 months had already exceeded half of the number caught last year. In 2014, the Department of Employment filed lawsuits against 134 undocumented agents and 156 offenders for deceiving people wanting to work overseas into paying them a large sum of money for their employment services, which were non-existent. The scam is rampant in the provinces of Udon Thani, Khon Kaen, Lampang, Sukhothai, Nakhon Ratchasima, Chayapum, and Lopburi, where the number of people wishing to work abroad is particularly high. South Korea, Japan, and Laos are top destinations for this group of job hunters. Illegal employment agents charged with swindling people will face a fine of up to 200,000 baht or a jail term of up to 10 years for each case of fraud if found guilty. The Ministry of Public Health is preparing to dispatch more than 1,800 new doctors to upcountry hospitals this year. According to Public Health Minister Acting Permanent Secretary Surache Sathit Niramai, the 1,863 new doctors, who make up 78% of all recent graduates from medical schools countrywide, were sponsored by the Ministry's Special Projects Department, aimed at alleviating the scarcity of doctors in remote areas. Dr. Surache confirmed that the dispatch of doctors this year would differ from previous occasions, in that the ministry had established 2 committees to supervise the placements of doctors and properly manage the proportion of personnel in line with the needs of each region. The new doctors will perform their duties at central and general hospitals, as well as major community hospitals, with senior doctors as their mentors. The Ministry of Public Health thus believes that the scheme can identify the true needs of each area and also provide the new doctors with an opportunity to utilize their skills. The Department of Disease Control has urged people between the age of 20 to 50 years old, considered a vulnerable group, to get a free diphtheria vaccine at government clinics throughout the country until the end of April. A 45-year-old diphtheria patient was reportedly found in Mae Hong Son province last week, according to the Department of Disease Control. There were 16 cases of patients with diphtheria, 4 of whom died, and that was reported in 2014. According to the data, people between 20 to 50 years of age are in an at-risk group, having inadequate immunity to prevent them from the disease. For more information on this, please contact the department's hotline, which is 1422. A latest survey by the National Institute of Development Administration, NIDA, it has found that most senior citizens in the Thai society are still happy with their family's treatment, but are most worried about drug problems. The survey, which was conducted during April 8 till 9 among 1,250 people aged above 60 across the country, focuses on the elderly's outlook on the new generation. When asked about their family ties, more than 95% of the respondents said they were happy with their younger family members' conduct towards them. Only 4% felt they should have been treated better. According to the respondents, young members at home or in the community mainly display their love for the elderly by paying attention to what they needed, listening to their advice, and also showing respect towards them. Regarding their expectations from the children, most of the respondents said they wish nothing, as the children are now mature enough to look after themselves. Others expect their children to uphold their respect for senior citizens and integrity. When asked what they fear most for the new generation, their top concerns are drug problems, limited jobs and education opportunities, and also moral decline. The Disaster Prevention and Mitigation Department reported on Sunday morning that 211 districts in 34 provinces have been affected by drought, with 11 northern provinces amongst the hardest hit. Since the 20th of October last year, the department has declared drought disaster areas in 10,300 villages in 1,100 sub-districts. The drought-hit areas are situated across all regions of Thailand. The 11 hardest-hit provinces in the north are Chiang Mai, Phitsanulok, Phrae, Tak, Phichit, Nakhon Sawan, Kamphaeng Phet, Sukhothai, Nan, Lampang, and Uttaradit. Another 8 in the northeastern region are Nakhon Ratchasima, Khon Kaen, Chayapum, Sakon Nakhon, Amnat Chareun, Buriram, Kalasin, and Mahasarakham. 7 drought areas in the central region are Saraburi, Chainat, Lopburi, Ratchaburi, Kanchanaburi, Phetchaburi, and Prachuap Khiri Khan as well. There are 3 in the east, Chantaburi, Chonburi, and Sa Kaeo. Meanwhile, the last 5 provinces are in the south, including Trang, Nakhon Si Thammarat, Krabi, Phang Nga, and Satun. Water reserves in the big dams nationwide are now at a total of 37,700 million cubic meters, or 53% of the total capacity. The water level is 1,200 million cubic meters less than that of last year. From the 1st of November 2014 to 19 April 2015, 6,000 million cubic meters of water flowed into the dams, while the quantity released was 11,000 million cubic meters. Well, more on the weather. Hot and very hot weather conditions are forecast for the 21st up until the 24th of April in Thailand, with a tropical storm in the northern, northeastern, and central as well the eastern part of the country. The Meteorological Department reported that a low-pressure system in the upper part of Thailand will result in hot and very hot weather in many areas across the kingdom. Another moderately strong high-pressure system from China is expected to move over the upper part of the country, where the weather is hot, leading to a tropical storm in the 4 regions. Thunderstorms, gusty winds and hail will likely hit some areas in the affected regions. The department has warned people of danger caused by strong winds and advised them to stay away from large trees, billboards, and also unstable construction sites. And that's it for Thailand Moves Forward. We'll have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices now. And after that, Newsline will take a short break. We will return with ASEAN news as well as the global news. Stay with us.
Maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 9th core value, being conscious and mindful of actions in line with His Majesty the King's royal statements.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
NBT World, a 24-hour English language television service operated by the National News Bureau of Thailand, or NNT. is designed to bring the most reliable information about Thailand to the international community. NBT World is available on various platforms, including via C-band set-top boxes, GMMZ Channel 202, PSI Channel 272, and a live stream on thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. You can also follow us on facebook.com/NNT News or download the PRD News EN application on your smartphones. NBT World, a vision of Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. More and more retailers as well as wholesalers have set up their shops at the border provinces, welcoming the government's border trade boosting policy at the advent of the ASEAN Economic Community. According to the Ministry of Commerce spokesperson, Duang Kamon Jiambut, she said the ministry aimed to increase border trade value from 900 billion baht a year to 1.5 trillion baht this year. Items in demand are commodity products and construction materials, as the neighboring countries recognize the quality and reasonable prices of goods from Thailand. Aside from promoting goods at the border provinces, the Ministry of Commerce is prepared to enhance border trade in terms of logistics, tourism, and healthcare, as well as education services. The move would greatly tighten connectivity between the border provinces to neighboring countries, major cities, or economic zones. In other global news, Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi said he called for international effort to help block people traffickers after the death of up to 700 migrants in the latest sinking boat tragedy in the Mediterranean. Renzi said it was still not possible yet to estimate what the total number of deaths in the latest tragedy is. He said he could only confirm that 24 dead bodies had been found and 28 people rescued. Renzi emphasized that search and rescue missions alone were not enough to save lives. He said the problem could only be solved by preventing the criminal activity of human traffickers and stopping migrant boats from leaving Libya. The lawless state of Libya, following the toppling of former leader Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, has left criminal gangs of migrant smugglers a free hand to send a stream of boats carrying desperate migrants from Africa and the Middle East. The rise in migrants in the Mediterranean this year is largely the result of political instability in Somalia and Eritrea, the recent breakdown of order in Libya, and also the civil war in Syria. Islamic State released a video on Sunday showing its militants shooting and beheading what appeared to be about 30 Ethiopian Christians in Libya. Reuters was not able to verify the authenticity of the video, but the killings were similar to past violence carried out by Islamic State, which has expanded its reach from strongholds in Iraq and Syria to chaotic Libya. The video portrayed Christians as crusaders out to kill Muslims and then showed about 15 men beheaded on a beach and another group of the same size shot in their heads in scrubland. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi ordered airstrikes on Islamic State targets in February in Libya after the group posted a video of militants beheading 21 Egyptian Christians. In the latest video posted on websites supporting IS that are seen as official, a man dressed in black clutching a pistol stood behind some of the victims. Islamic State militants have exploited chaos in a North African country where two governments allied to a host of armed groups fight for control 4 years after the ousting of Muammar Gaddafi. To South Africa now. South Africa's security minister said in Johannesburg on Sunday that 307 suspects have been arrested for a range of xenophobic-related crimes. Security agencies have increased police presence on the ground after at least 6 deaths in anti-immigrant violence this week. Government ministers said the full might of the law will be brought to bear on alleged criminals involved in these attacks. The attack started in Durban, a port city on South Africa's east coast, but spread to the economic hub of Johannesburg. There are allegations that social media is being used to send threatening text messages to incite violence. Migrants in the African country were scared by the xenophobic incidents. Several hundred foreigners have asked to be repatriated, and the Home Affairs Department is working with embassy staff to make this happen. Drag queens dressed up in stilettos and wigs for a high heels race on Sunday held at Key West Grey Conch Republic drag race was rather interesting, so here's the news for you. The event proved difficult for female impersonators and drag queens as they ran in stilettos through many obstacles. Florida Keys News Bureau said contestants raced down Duval Street through the course that included a tire obstacle path and even pushed shopping carts as part of the competition. Local media reported that the drag challenge was part of Key West annual Conch Republic Independence celebration of Florida Keys' 1982 secession from the United States. The 2015 celebrations are expected to continue until April 26. A 21-year-old student from Yekaterinburg has won the title of Miss Russia 2015 at a beauty contest in Moscow. 50 young women from various cities, including 3 from Crimea, were competing for the crown. They paraded in evening gowns, bathing suits, and answered jury questions before the winner, Sofia Nikichuk, was announced. Nikichuk could not control her emotions and broke into tears after last year's winner, Yulia Alipova, read out her name. Alipova then took off the contest crown, made of white gold and decorated with pearls and diamonds, and put it on Nikichuk's head. Speaking after the event, Nikichuk said she was delighted with the win. She said her parents came all the way from Yekaterinburg to support her. Nikichuk will now represent Russia in the Miss World and also Miss Universe contests. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. Thank you very much for joining us. Should you have any suggestions or comments, please write to us. The email address is newsline.nbt@gmail.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook by typing in NNT, and you'll find more about Newsline. Our website is thainews.prd.go.th/newseng. Today we say goodbye, ending the program by taking you up to the north in Chiang Mai province to see an elephant writing and drawing on the canvas. I'm Chalapan San Rula. Bye bye now. Sawasdee ka.